All right, welcome to Chapter 4 of The Secret of Shambhala by James Redfield. This chapter is entitled Conscious Alertness, the second extension. So it doesn't quite get to the second extension, it recaps the first. So the first extension is visualize and feel your energy flow out in front and into the distance. Once you have the field moving out, set the field to have a certain effect. And these get reiterated and reinforced all throughout the chapter. Set your field. Direct your prayer field to act on the world in various ways. Use your expectations. Expect that the energy will keep flowing through you. Then set your field with other expectations and do so with true discipline. Otherwise, all of your energy can quickly collapse in fear and anger. Watch your thoughts. Set the right field around you. Set your field for synchronicity. They call it Rtel Brel. Stay in the synchronistic process to bring the intuitions and coincidences to help guide you. Set your field reiterated. Make sure you build on the first extension. Be certain that the energy is flowing into you and out into the world. Feel the measures. Set your expectation for this energy to be constant. Now you must expect that your prayer field will act to bring forth just the thoughts and events necessary for your best destiny to unfold. In order to set this field around you, you must keep yourself in a state of conscious alertness. And that's alert for synchronicity. Keep yourself in a state where you are constantly looking for the next mysterious bit of information that helps you toward your destiny. Now, some synchronicity will come to you no matter what you do, but you can increase the occurrence if you set a constant field by always expecting it. Conscious alertness. Setting a field for synchronicity is a matter of putting yourself in a particular state of mind. It's easy to think about synchronicity intellectually, but unless you enter the state of mind where your prayer field will help, all you will do is glimpse the coincidences every once in a while. In some situations that is enough and you will be led forward for a time, but eventually you will lose your direction. The only way to establish a constant flow of synchronicity is to stay in a state where your prayer field keeps this flow moving toward you, a state of conscious alertness. Yin's dark side about the Chinese. This is yin to the dark side. When I was young, I watched the Chinese soldier kill my father. I hate and fear them intensely. And I must confess something. I myself am part Chinese. This is the worst part. It is this memory and guilt that erodes my energy, so that I tend to anticipate the worst. You will learn that at these higher levels of energy, our fields of prayer act very quickly to bring us to exactly what we expect. If we fear, it brings us what we fear. If we hate, it brings us more of what we hate. Thankfully, when we go into these negative expectations, our prayer fields collapse rather quickly because we lose our connection with the divine and are no longer outflowing love. But a fear expectation can still be powerful. This is why you must monitor your expectations carefully and set your field consciously. He smiled at me and added, because you don't hate the Chinese military the way I do, you have an advantage. But you still have much fear, and you seem to be capable of great anger, just like me. Perhaps that is why we are together. I was looking ahead at the road as we drove, thinking about what Yin was saying, not believing that our thoughts could be that powerful. How to get in a state of mind for conscious alertness. One must stop and remind oneself to assume an attitude of alertness every moment. One must visualize that one's energy is going out and bringing just the right hunches to you, the right events. You have to expect them to occur at any moment. We set our fields to bring us synchronicity by being ever vigilant, always expecting the next encounter. Every time you forget to keep yourself in this state of expectation, you must catch yourself and remember. The more you stay in this state of mind, the more the synchronicity will increase. And eventually, if you keep your energy high, this posture of conscious alertness will become your prevailing attitude toward life. The legends say the prayer extensions will eventually be second nature to us. We will set them in the morning as routinely as getting dressed. This is the place you must reach, the state of mind where you have this expectation constantly. Fear and anger spawning negative outcomes. People who fear a particular event, a burglary at their house for instance, or getting a particular disease, or losing a lover, often experience just that occurrence in their lives. Not everything that happens negative is the result of our own thoughts. Many things merely happen in the natural course of living with other human beings. Their expectations and actions play a part too. But we do have some creative influence, whether we want to believe it or not. We have to wake up and understand that in terms of our prayer energy, an expectation is an expectation, whether it is based on fear or faith. At these higher levels of energy, the effect of our prayer field is very quick. Out there in the ordinary world, individuals still have a mix of fear images and success images, so they tend to cancel each other out and keep the effect low. But at these levels, we can affect what happens very quickly, even though a fear image will eventually collapse strengths of our field. The key is to make sure your mind is focused on the positive path of your life, not on some fearful expectation. That's why the second extension is so important. If we make sure we stay in a state of conscious alertness for the next synchronicity, our minds stay on the positive and off our fear and doubt. We'll just go through the storyline of the plot. It's a 24-page chapter going from pages 73 to 97. So on page 93, Yin tells the main character about his dream of them searching for the gateway to Shambhala. On page 74, they're traveling through western Tibet, avoiding Chinese soldiers. 75, them traveling to Mount Kailash. Page 79, the main character goes to the Jeep to get a notebook when the Chinese soldiers show up and he flees without Yin. And then pages 80 to 81 are the main character escaping. And then on 82 is Chinese soldiers. They don't notice that the main character as if they don't even see him. And then on 83, the Dakini make the driveway glow for the main character to lead the way. Pages 84 and 85 is the main character reuniting with Yin. Page 86 is Yin lectures the main character about not following synchronicity. And then on 88, Yin lectures the main character some more about not following the insights. On 89, Yin explains the dangers of holding fear and anger. Instead, envision a more positive outcome. Page 93, Yin and the main character try to remain alert for guidance. Page 94, they encounter the Dutch couple. Page 95, the Chinese show up and they flee. And then Yin and the main character split up. The main character tries making conversation with the Dutchman, and the Dutchman runs away. And that concludes the Chapter 4 review of The Secret of Shambhala by James Redfield, the 11th Insight. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.